Did you know there's a line of Gorillaz Converse sneakers and a Gorillaz episode of MTV Cribs? Yeah, and we'll tell you about it, but first let's see how this unique band came about. The Gorillaz are known for blurring the lines of music genres, rejecting idols, and of course, for their memorable animated band members. We first met them in 2001 with their single, Clint Eastwood, and later enjoyed the hit Feel Good Inc. And luckily, the Gorillaz are back for more. Hi, I'm Tetris, and in honor of their new album, we're gonna warp back to the 2000s for a bit with MicDrop's 107 music facts about Gorillaz, including a lightning round on our favorite clone, Cyborg Noodle. Let's get started. Fact number 1. Gorillaz was the brainchild of Damon Albarn, the frontman of British rock group Blur, along with comic strip artist Jamie Hewlett. After the two coincidentally became roommates in the same flat in London, they came up with the idea of a fictional 4-member cartoon band, with Damon handling the songwriting and Jamie illustrating the band's character designs as well as fictional universe they lived in. Fact number 2. Damon and Jamie were actually inspired to create the band because of the rising shallow nature of MTV during the late 90s. They thought the music channel lacked substance, and so the Gorillaz band was their response. Fact number 3. There's lots of rumors about the origin of their name. Some say Damon Albarn was attacked by a chimp when he was young. Others say the band characters themselves have monkey-like appearances and tendencies. And some even say it's because Jamie Hewlett previously created the comic book Tank Girl, where the lead character gets killed by a mechanic gorilla in the last issue. But the real reason we found was that both Damon and Jamie were born in 1968, which is the year of the monkey. Hence the name Gorillaz. Boom! Fact number 4. The 4 fictional members of the band are multi-talented musicians. Lead vocalist 2D handles the keyboard and melodica. Murdoch Nichols takes care of the bass guitar and drum machine. Noodle plays the guitar and keyboard and chimes, and occasionally with backup vocals. And Russel Hobbs lays it down on drums and percussion. Fact number 5. Since the characters in the Gorillaz are purely fictional, the musicians contributing to the band always changes. So their sound is also always changing and evolving as well. The only permanent musician of the group is co-founder Damon Albarn. Fact number 6. Despite the continual metamorphosis of the band's sound, the genres that they are most closely associated with are alternative hip-hop, alternative rock, trip-hop, and electronica. Fact number 7. The band was initially just called Gorilla. It wasn't until later, when their music career started taking off, that they added the Z to the end. Fact number 8. Ghost Train was the first song the band ever recorded. The track appears on their single, Rock the House, on the B-side, and also on the B-side of their first album, G-Sides. Fact number 9. The band received national attention when they came out with their first single called Clint Eastwood in 2001. The track initially featured the rap group 5 Life Cypher, but in the end, the album version featured rapper Del the Funk Homo Sapien instead, who actually is credited on the album as Del the Ghost Rapper. Del confusing. Fact number 10. In concerts featuring the single Clint Eastwood, the rap verses have been performed by other famous rappers like Snoop Dogg, Kano, and Islam Jawad. Fact 11. With the release of their first self-titled album, the Gorillaz gained more attention after their single 19-2000 was featured in a FIFA football video game and in an Icebreakers commercial. So you could literally say their first album broke the ice with new audiences. Fact number 12. Near the end of 2001, the band teamed up with rap group D12, minus Eminem, and rapper Terry Hall for a song called 911, which was inspired by the September 11th attacks. Looks like Gorillaz really do band together. Fact number 13. In 2012, the band's TV mockumentary, Charts of Darkness, was released and features a TV reporter investigating what happened to Gorillaz founders Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett after they were confined to an insane asylum. Wait, so what did happen, guys? Movie night? Fact number 14. 2002 was a great year for the Gorillaz. After releasing their first 3 singles internationally, they rocked the stage at the 2002 Brit Awards as 3D animated characters with a rap assist from 5 Life Cypher. They were also nominated for 6 awards, but in the end, did not snag any. Fact 15. Later that year, the Gorillaz released a DVD called Phase 1 Celebrity Takedown, which included the Charts of Darkness mockumentary, as well as 5 short episodes featuring the band Gorilla Bites. Fans were hyped because it seemed like the Gorillaz were preparing to release a movie, but Jamie Hewlett revealed the DVD was actually a result of an abandoned film project for the band. Bummer. Fact number 16. After a 2-year hiatus, the Gorillaz revived their website and released the exclusive video Rocket in 2004. They also launched the Search for a Star talent contest for fans, and then, in true Gorillaz style, showed their dissatisfaction with the music industry with their campaign called Reject False Icons, which allowed fans to download a picture with the phrase and stick it on false icons like pictures of magazine models or music icons. The idea was to encourage people to think for themselves and enjoy music without idolizing the music artists. Fact number 17. Feel Good Inc. was the first single off the band's upcoming album Demon Days. The single was released in 2004 and earned a Grammy nomination for Record of the Year. It was also featured in the PlayStation games SingStar, Guitar Hero 5, and Rock Band. Fact number 18. Feel Good Inc. also boosted rap group De La Soul's career and earned them their first Grammy. I'm sure they felt real good after that. Fact number 19. The Gorillaz album Demon Days was released in 2005, and the record went platinum 5 times in the UK, double platinum in the US, and triple platinum in Australia. The band then won 2 Moon Men at the 2005 MTV Video Music Awards for their hit, Feel Good Inc. Fact number 20. Gorillaz performed at the 2006 Grammy Awards using the Mu-Gen eyeliner technology, where they teamed up with Virtual Madonna for a performance of their songs Feel Good Inc. and Hung Up. Fact number 21. With the release of Demon Days, the band launched a set of Gorillaz vinyl figures that came in red and black editions, as well as in CMYK colors. Personally, I'd be a little worried that the figurines promoting a demon-themed album might be possessed, but hey, that's just me. Fact number 22. Fans got their hopes up for a Gorillaz film once again in 2006 when the media reported that legendary film producer Harvey Weinstein would be collaborating with Damon and Julie. Ultimately, the project was scrapped, but in 2008, Jamie said they would still like to do a fully lavishly animated Gorillaz film someday. Fact number 23. Around 2008, rumors began circulating that a holographic world tour was in the works, using Mu-Gen eyeliner technology to animate the band members. Unfortunately, the project never happened due to budget issues. Fact 24. To compensate for the disappointment of having another film project fall through, a documentary about Gorillaz called Bananas was released in 2009 and was also later released on DVD. Fact number 25. Damon and Jamie began to work on a third project back in 2007 called Carousel, which they eventually changed to Plastic Beach, their third album. The record features familiar artists like Snoop Dogg and De La Soul, but also some unexpected collaborations with instrumental contemporary groups like the Lebanese National Orchestra for Oriental Arabic music and a Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. Fact 26. Plastic Beach was released in 2010 to critical acclaim and brought with it the complete overhaul of the band's website, which included giving fans the ability to tour the fictional Plastic Beach as well as play the game Escape to Plastic Beach. Fact 27. Just before their 2010 world tour, the Gorillaz played a secret sold-out show to a crowd of 5,000 people in the Olupu Ballroom in Kentucky. Fact 28. The promotional poster for the Gorillaz' Escape to Plastic Beach World Tour was inspired by the 1969 Western, The Wild Bunch. Fact 29. When the Gorillaz would go on tour, the real band members played behind a video screen that displayed the cartoon fictional members. Damon was the only real bandmate who played every single show. Fact 30. In true Gorillaz style, Damon Albarn told the media in 2010 that he would not let the show Glee cover any Gorillaz songs because he believes the music on the show is a very poor substitute for the real thing. Ooh, tough crowd. Luckily, the producers hadn't actually asked for any Gorillaz copyrights, and Damon was only speaking in theory. Fact 31. In 2011, the band launched their own Gorillaz-themed version of the app I Electribe, which featured a bunch of samples taken from their newest album, The Fall. The app had over 128 new sounds created by the band, as well as 64 pre-programmed patterns that were ready to use, which were designed by Gorillaz engineer Stefan Sedgwick in collaboration with Korg. Fact 32. In 2012, Gorillaz released their own line of Converse sneakers as a part of the company's 3 artists, 1 song collaboration, and released the track Do Your Thing, which featured Andre 3000 of Outkast and James Murphy of LCD Sound System. Fact 33. Later that year, Gorillaz took a hiatus when Damon and Jamie had some creative differences. Damon felt that the visuals were not matching the music very well. However, he did say in a later interview that working out their differences would not be impossible, and he was sure when they did, they would create another record together. Fact 34. I Could Come Home is a remix album of Gorillaz music, and all the tracks were done by only one artist, the Space Monkeys. The title for Laika Come Home was inspired by the Soviet space dog Laika, as well as the classic TV show Lassie Come Home. Fact 35. The artwork for the Laika Come Home cover was originally a piece of art by famous artist and activist Banksy, who actually collaborated with Damon and Demon Days producer Danger Mouse on other projects. Fact 36. The movie Stormbreaker has a military training scene that features Feel Good Inc. playing in the background. Gotta motivate those soldiers. Fact 37. In November 2006, an autobiography about the virtual band members was published called Gorillaz: Rise of the Ogre. The book gives a deeper insight into the fictional band cyber world with exclusive artwork and interviews, and it is a must-have if you're a die-hard fan. Fact 38. In Rise of the Ogre, we found out that bassist Murdoch was the original founder of the Gorillaz in the virtual story. He purchased the rundown building Kong Studios, where the band writes and records their music. Fact 39. Murdoch was born in Stoke-on-Trent, England on June 6, 1966. Written as a number, his birthday is 6666, which is a reference to the devil's number 666. Fact 40. Other satanic associations with Murdoch include his middle name Faust, which according to an old German legend was the name of a scholar who sold his soul to the devil for unparalleled knowledge and earthly pleasures. Murdoch also reads the books, pacts with the devil, and listens to Black Sabbath. Fact 41. Murdoch's home is Plastic Beach, an island made of junk. Sounds cozy. Fact 42. Murdoch said that he expanded his musical taste by listening to punk, dub, and reggae, which may explain why despite his metal image, there are no metal influences in Gorillaz music. Fact 43. Generally, Murdoch has the typical metal rocker image, tall and skinny with shaggy black hair and all black clothing. Overall, he looks like a human being who inherited some creepy reptilian genes, green skin, pointy tongue, one red eye, and one black eye. Fact 44. Murdoch once mentioned that De La Soul knows how to get the party started, and that their rap sounds like a bunch of kids trapped in a phone booth mucking on some nitrous oxide. Well, who knew poisonous phone booth gas could sound so good? Fact 45. Murdoch recruited the singer 2D for the group. 2D was born on May 23, 1978, in the little borough of Crawley, England. His birth name is Stuart Pott. We see why he prefers to go by 2D. Fact 46. 2D also looks almost human, with the exception of his natural color hair, which is light sky blue. Fact 47. 2D is voiced by Damon Albarn in recordings and performances, but they sometimes use actor Nelson De Freitas for additional material they create. Fact 48. The lead singer is visually impaired because of 2 separate car accidents involving Murdoch. He also often suffers from mobility issues, headaches, and anxiety. Fact 49. 2D enjoys horror movies and watched films directed by Lucio Fulci and George A. Romero as a teenager. Some of 2D's favorite groups to listen to are The Clash, The Specials, and The Human League. Fact 50. 2D said that the lyrics for the Feel Good Inc. chorus were inspired by a trip to Coachella. Love that place, where he once saw a field full of wind turbines on farmland. His bandmate Noodle wrote most of the song, but the chorus was 2D's handiwork. So the story goes. Fact 51. Some of 2D's hidden talents include playing the Moog, drum machine, a Casio VL Tone, and a stylophone. What's a stylophone, you ask? It's basically an outdated pocket-sized version of a synthesizer combined with the Nintendo DS. Dope! You play the virtual keys by tapping them with the stylus. Fact 52. Since 2D was the first member that Murdoch recruited for Gorillaz, the two have a very close brotherly bond. Just like any pair of best friends, they sometimes argue, but their drummer pal Russel Hobbs steps in to settle things. Fact 53. Russel Hobbs was the third member to join Gorillaz. He was born in New York City on June 3, 1973. Fact 54. Tragically, some of Russel's friends were victims of a drive-by shooting. Not long after the incident, his family sent him to live in England as a safety precaution. Fact 55. Russ insists that he saw the Grim Reaper after his friends were shot, and also claims that his musical abilities are due to his friends' spirits fusing with his after their deaths. Fact 56. Occasionally, Russell's inner ghost Dale comes out to rap while he drums. If only we were lucky enough to be possessed by an inner rap god who could bust some rhymes. I'd take that skill. Fact 57. Russel's image is much different from Murdoch and 2D's rocker styles. Instead, Russ prefers to flaunt a hip-hop wardrobe with a pair of baggy jeans and some street gear. This is my kind of dude. Fact 58. Russ is often compared to King Kong or the Hulk because of his huge body and his large round white eyes. He may look scary at first, but he's actually known to be a gentle giant who is extremely protective of guitarist Noodle. Fact 59. Noodle, the fourth member of Gorillaz, joined when she was just 10 years old. She is a guitarist and looks similar to a typical anime character, with the exception of some cyborg features. Fact 60. Noodle came to the band in a strange way. Apparently, Murdoch placed an ad for a guitarist in a magazine, and Noodle just appeared in a freight box. Well, bet you never heard of a mail-order musician before. Fact 61. Noodle is Japanese, and usually wears clothes influenced by her culture. She always carries a samurai sword on her back and wears a radio helmet with headphones. The sword comes from her background in martial arts and combat training. Fact 62. People usually mistake Noodle for a boy because of her short hair, uniform, and tomboyish manners. Her character smashes cultural stereotypes about women with her portrayal as a badass robotic warrior guitar slayer. Take that, Schwarzenegger. Fact 63. In January 2010, there was an incident where character bandmate Murdoch took over NME radio and Yahoo stations, played a couple songs, and told a strange story. He revealed that while he thought he had rescued Noodle, he only dreamed that he did because he was drunk. So he's not actually sure what happened to her after the crash of the Windmill Island in the El Mañana video. Lightning round time. Noodle's character was once replaced by Cyborg Noodle. Who's that, you ask? Well, don't worry, we've got all the cyborg info right here. Fact 64. Noodle had a robot clone at one point called Cyborg Noodle. Well, Cyborg Noodle was a clone that Murdoch created because he thought the original Noodle had died, and the band needed a new guitar player. I mean, why hold auditions for new band members when you can just clone one, right? Well, Cyborg Noodle was cool, but came with a few kinks in her system. Though she definitely had the same guitar shredding skills as Noodle, she lacked the humanity that OG Noodle had and was basically evil, like most cyborgs. Fact 65. Cyborg Noodle was also Murdoch's official bodyguard at one point. He decked her out with an arsenal of weapons and gave her the ability to shoot bullets out of her mouth. Fact 66. Cyborg Noodle retained some of those same habits and memories of the real Noodle, but Murdoch was actually the one who had complete control over her. He input memory chips and kept pulling all the strings behind the scenes. Fact 67, well, Cyborg Noodle was heavily featured on the album Plastic Beach, and as a result, was able to meet and work with a lot of the famous contributing artists from the album, including Mos Def, Snoop Dogg, and Bobby Womack. Fact 68, in an interview with Us Magazine, Cyborg Noodle mentioned that Snoop Dogg was great to work with and was a perfect gentleman, but she did say that he gets up even later than Murdoch in the mornings, which is pretty late according to her. Don't anger the cyborg. Fact 69, apparently Cyborg Noodle wasn't able to watch TV because the circuits interfered with her transmission. Also, as a robot, she obviously couldn't get wet, which was a pretty tricky situation, considering the band was stuck on Plastic Beach at the time. Fact 70, Cyborg Noodle once had a major crush on Justin Timberlake, until he married Jessica Biel. However, there's no bitterness, and she says she's moved on and wishes them well. Although she did admit that she listens to his album Justified once a week and lights a candle in memory of the flame she once felt for him. Wait, cyborgs can have feelings? Fact 71. Cyborg Noodle said that she looks up to classic singers like Aretha Franklin, Bobby Womack, or Robert Palmer. Fact 72. Cyborg Noodle once said that she retained the real Noodle's guitar skills, but not her wisdom, but said that, hey, I'm still smarter than John Mayer though, so I think that's okay? Ouch. Fact 73. Cyborg Noodle admitted that she loved the Twilight films and even had a crush on Robert Pattinson at one point. She also mentioned that she knows he plays music too, and she'd be happy to give him a guitar lesson one day. Okay, girl. Fact 74. Cyborg Noodle also had a chance to work with pop queen Madonna, who she said was a perfectionist just like Murdoch. She explained that Murdoch will make 2D do a vocal take over 100 times if he's not happy. That's the end of the lightning round. Did we miss anything? Do you prefer Cyborg Noodle to OG Noodle? Well, comment below and let us know. Back to the facts. Fact 75. The Gorillaz official website is an interactive cyber world, where fans can interact with the band's cyber world and other fans in real time. Fact 76. In 2005, MTV Cribs did a Gorillaz episode where Murdoch showed us around Kong Studios. It has about 49 rooms, a private cinema, an in-house studio, is on a hilltop in Essex, UK, and has their very own gateway to hell. Sounds inviting. Fact 77. The song 5/4 is actually named after the time signature used in the track. Those numbers are never actually said in the lyrics. Fact 78. Sean Ryder from the bands Happy Mondays and Black Grape appears in the music video for Gorillaz' single Dare, where he is a creepy Frankenstein-like floating head who is operated by a machine in Noodle's wardrobe. This one does not lead to Narnia. Fact 79. The Gorillaz made a reference to a famous horror film in the Dare video. The figurine at the beginning of the video is the demon Pazuzu, the same one seen in the movie The Exorcist. Fact 80. The crows flying around the building in the Dare video is a reference to the Hitchcock classic film The Birds, which is about a town that turned upside down when the local birds began attacking citizens for no reason. Fact 81. In the scene where Russel is seen sitting on the toilet in the Dare video, he is seen reading a newspaper with the headline, Cannibal Massacre, which is actually the Danish title for the film Cannibal Holocaust. Fact 82. At the end of the Dare video, there's a zoom in on Noodle's eye. This is a direct copycat of the scene from the original Japanese film Ringu and the American version, The Ring. Fact 83. The album Demon Days was inspired by a trip Damon Albarn took with his partner and daughter, where at one point, Damon commented that a certain area seemed like a weird, unspoken, forgotten part of China, and there were basically dead trees everywhere. Well, nothing says inspiration like a creepy wasteland, right? Fact 84. Damon said that the Demon Days album is about a journey through the night, and each track represents someone confronting a different demon. Fact 85. Some previous titles for their second album were We Are Happy Landfill and Reject False Icons, but they decided on Demon Days as the final title. Fact 86. The Gorillaz love Clint Eastwood, clearly, as they named a song after him. But they were also happy to record a track for Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry character, with 2D smashing it on the vocals. The helmet featured on the poster for Dirty Harry video is a reference to the artwork from the film Full Metal Jacket. Fact 87. The title of the Gorillaz single, Dunk-O-Matic, is inspired by the very first product created by Korg, which was called the Korg Disc Rotary Electric Auto Rhythm Machine Dunk-O-Matic TA20. Cool. Fact 88. The video for the band's fourth single, El Mañana, was once used by the Blue Man Group in a show during their tour called How to Be a Megastar. Fact 89. The single Kids with Guns was based on a story Damon Albarn had heard about a kid who brought a knife to his daughter's school. Scurry. Fact 90. Both Damon and Jamie are big fans of Chinese theater, and at one point, they adapted a famous show from China into a Cirque du Soleil-style opera called Monkey, Journey to the West. As always, Damon handled the music and Jamie handled the designs. In 2008, Damon and Jamie were hired to produce a commercial for the Beijing Olympics. Fact 91. Tank Girl is Jamie's most famous comment, and it was made into a movie starring rapper Ice-T and singer Iggy Pop. Fact 92. In the Gorillaz autobiography, Rise of the Ogre, we found out that the events in the video for El Mañana were staged in an attempt to get rid of an enemy they called Little Jimmy Manson, who was a hippie-turned-producer that was hell-bent on destroying the Gorillaz. So the story goes. Now, Jimmy Manson once auditioned for the Gorillaz many years ago, but didn't make the cut, and since then has had it out for the band. Fact 93. In the video of El Mañana, Murdoch pretends to ask Jimmy to help him kill off Noodle as a decoy, and instead double-crosses him by leaving him to face death on the exploding island. Fact 94. The second track from the Gorillaz' debut album 5/4 never actually had a music video, but the Phase 1 DVD shows what it would have looked like. The band would play to a huge crowd while Murdoch undresses down to his underwear and attempts to jump towards a group of women on the platform, but fails miserably and falls onto the ground instead. Why didn't they make this hilarious video? Fact 95. The music video for the single Dare showcases Noodle much more than the other members, who only make cameos. Noodle claimed that Murdoch originally protested her being shown most in the video, but she argued that he showed off way too much for the Feel Good Inc. video, and since she wrote this song, she should be the star. Fact 96. Gorillaz co-founder Damon Albarn collaborated with Adele on 5 songs for her album 25. It's kind of an unusual partnership considering the artist's different musical backgrounds, but obviously it paid off in the end, at least for Adele. Damon, however, wasn't such a huge fan of the album in general and called it very middle of the road. Is this because Noodle wasn't on it? Fact 97. Murdoc's top 5 favorite Gorillaz music videos are Clint Eastwood, Feel Good Inc., Dirty Harry, On Melancholy Hill, and Stylo. Fact 98. Murdoch explained that shooting the video for On Melancholy Hill on Plastic Beach was meant to be an analogy for the message. Paradise is not what it seems. Fact 99. Murdoch said that shooting the video for Feel Good Inc. was extremely difficult and expensive. The band spent $3.8 million alone on the hydraulics for the windmill. And then they bought an island, made a mold of it, then scraped out the insides to create the floating island paradise you see in the video. So the story goes. Fact 100. Bruce Willis himself makes a cameo in the Stylo video as the band's nemesis, telling them in a high-speed chase. Fact 101. In an interview last year with The Fader, Damon gave his take on some of today's hottest artists. He said Kanye is pretty unique, Drake is not as consistent as he could be, and the rapper Future is really interesting and sometimes exhilarating. When asked about Rihanna, he jokingly said, "She's on the cover of NME, so she must be cool." Fact 102. In the music video for 19-2000, there's a sign on the motorway that says, Overlook Hotel, and another sign that reads, Camp Crystal Lake. Both are references to horror films. The first one refers to the Stephen King classic, The Shining, and the second one references Friday the 13th. Fact 103. The Gorillaz are into zombies and vampires, and if you haven't already noticed, many of their songs and videos include horror film references, including some to the Amityville Horror, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Resident Evil. Fact 104. While filming the video Dirty Harry in the Namibian desert of South Africa, the band hired some armed personnel for the shoot. But at the last minute, their personnel backed out and took their trucks with them, leaving the band stranded. Fact 105. After the band was abandoned by their security, Murdoch stole a Red Cross truck. Initially, he was just looking for some shelter from the desert heat, but after he was attacked by armed soldiers, he hotwired the car to make a getaway. Fact 106. 2D is wearing a clown mask in the Stylo video to hide the fact that he has a hangover. I need one of those. However, it doesn't quite work out since he's still extremely drunk. Damon said that 2016 would be all about Gorillaz when their new album releases, and that's definitely one prophecy we want to see fulfilled. Once again, I'm Tetris, and you just finished watching MicDrop's 107 music facts about the Gorillaz. Did you guys enjoy these facts? Well, make sure to subscribe because we're bringing you more facts about your favorite musicians every week. Let us know which artists we should feature, and make sure you check out our other videos. See you next week.